Hello everyone and welcome to Candy Creations. My name is Candice and in this video I am going to make a ladder plant stand for my gallery. Now this is long overdue, so you will see that the plants I'm using in it are way overgrown because I intended to do this a lot earlier on. Now to make the ladder should be pretty straightforward and simple and hopefully shouldn't take up too much time. So let's get crafting. So to start off this project, I'm using a strip of scrap wood I had along with a broken piece of broomstick, and I'm just going to measure and cut everything to size to put my project together. The length of your ladder all depends on how much wood you have, but unfortunately I only had like a 4 to 5 foot piece of wood, so my ladder is going to be a little over 2 feet high. If I had longer wood I would have made it taller, but I'm just trying to work with what I have. Now that all my wood is cut, I'm just pre-drilling holes to put my nails in because this wood is really hard and it's probably going to bend my nails. So to avoid all that, I'm just pre-drilling holes on either side of the ladder. For this part, because I didn't have an extra pair of hands, I decided to let the glue dry on the wood so it would hold the broomsticks in place so that I can nail them down properly. But if you have clamps or someone helping, you can go ahead and nail it in right away after putting on the glue. So I chose to paint my ladder gray because my gallery is green and there's a white bench in the gallery as well. So gray kind of seemed like the neutral medium. So hopefully it doesn't disappear and also not stand out too much. I also don't want to choose a color that will take away from the flowers that is going to be hung on the ladder. So these are the plants that I'm going to be using to hang on my ladder, and they are, like I said before, they are a lot bigger than I initially started with and when I wanted to start this project, but I'm just gonna have to work around it for now and hopefully it doesn't get in the way too much. And I'm going to be using these palette sticks to cover the base of the plant, which is the plant pot, and I'll have to cut them and stain them and then stick them on. So this is the paint that I'm going to use to stain my sticks. If you did see my other video about the lap tray, I dilute the paint with water before applying it to the stick and then use a tissue to wipe off the excess. And that's how I usually stain wood when I don't have a stain. So you would have seen me put tape around the base of the pot, and that's just to make sure that when I'm using the hot glue it doesn't melt the pot, because it is a thin plastic. So I went ahead and laid that down first, and then I just used the hot glue gun to put all of them in place. I used about 16 of these sticks for each pot, and when I started sticking them down, I forgot that the top of the pot, which is the rim, is wider than the base. So I had to go back in and angle cut all my palette sticks in order for them to all fit around the pot. After having all my sticks put in place, I would usually at this point put a sealant over the wood, because we are talking about a plant, it needs to be watered, so water would get on the wood. Because I already have a large plant in this pot and it's hanging over the sides, I don't want to affect the plant in any way. But if there was no plant in the pot, I would have gone ahead and put a coat or two of Mod Podge around the on these sticks, and that would give it a good seal against the water. To finish off the design of the pot, I'm just going to add some twine around the pot. I wrapped it 3 times, and I did this to the top and the bottom of each pot. And finally, I'm making my hook that will hook the plant onto the ladder. So I'm not really sure what size wire this is, but I doubled it up just to make it a little sturdier, and I bend it around the broomstick to create my hook. All there is left to do is drill my hole. I did remove some of the soil on the other side of the pot, so when I drill it would not stick into the soil, and I just put my hook in, and I did squeeze in the other end a little bit tighter because it was hanging down a little too much. So I just brought that bottom part in, and it held perfectly. Alright guys, that wasn't too difficult, and I'm really happy with the results, and now I'm excited to plant all kind of other things and hang them on my ladder. I'm even thinking of doing some lettuce and other things that don't really like too much of sun. If you like this video, subscribe and you'll be seeing more in the future. Thank you for watching, God bless, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!